And I'm going to say hello and welcome to our session today, tackling doom boxes, how to break the habit of stashing and dashing. A new session for us today. I'm going to use a similar format to we use for many of our other sessions, but this one is a new topic today with our decluttering and organizing. So thanks for coming today. Looking forward to hearing from you. Some have already shared in the chat. I'll read back through them in a second. But if you haven't shared with us, let us know where you're joining us from and what would you like to focus on today? What is it about doom boxes that are most challenging? And what are some tips that you find have helped you over the time? I'd love to hear your thoughts, what works well for you. Feel free to ask any questions as we're going through. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions or pop them in the chat as people already have. Oops, the chat is, Mike is joining us from Washington at 7 p.m. over there. Thanks, Mike, for joining us. As I said, I'm in Melbourne in Australia and it's 10 a.m. here. Rebecca is in Calgary and in Canada it's 5 p.m. there. Mike says he has plenty of doom boxes in the basement and a storage facility. Let's see if we can help you out with them. Rebecca says, I'm looking at a doom box right now. Awesome. Let's see if we can help you with that one, Rebecca. And as I say, reduce the accumulation of them, but also see how we can tackle them. We are actually going to sort of go through and sort one now. So Space and Time, my business, is all about conscious choices on how we use our space and our time. So we don't just go about our day because mum said we should do this or grandma taught us to do that. It's really about making conscious choices, what's going to work for you and your family right here, right now, and how we manage our space and our possessions and how we use our time. And we also love to set up systems to help us create a simpler life. And some of those systems we're absolutely going to look at today and look at how we can stop these doom boxes from accumulating. I know I've said that a few times, but that's the main idea. Share, if you haven't already, where you're joining us from and what you're looking forward to learning. Excuse me a second, my watch is telling me all sorts of things, but I thought I'd better just check, make sure that someone hasn't lost the link or something like that. But no, it's a different matter altogether. So as I said, setting up systems, trying to make life simpler. So let us know if you haven't already, as I said. So we're going to pop this on YouTube after the session today for the people that couldn't make it in person and also for other people. So if you are watching a recording on YouTube, you can use the comments section as well to ask us your questions. I won't be able to obviously straight away reply, but I will get back to you in a timely manner if you have any specific questions about the session today. But if you are here joining us, let's use the chat, or if you're feeling brave, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question. So what can you expect today? We're going to identify why doom boxes happen, how to sort a doom box in its content. We're going to create permanent homes for our stuff so that we have somewhere to put things rather than just dump them in a box. We're going to have a look at maintenance tips, and also I'm going to share some ways you can continue your decluttering and organizing journey after today. So as I said at the start, we're looking at how to break the habit and start creating lasting organizational habits. So that's what we're looking at today. Here I am. My name is Julie Cliff. I just mentioned my business is called Space and Time. And before starting my business in 2015, I was an executive assistant and administrator for 20 years. So helping others get and stay organized in an office is something that I love to do. And then sort of transferred over to helping people in their homes, decluttering and organizing. Have a team of girls here in Melbourne that help hands-on decluttering and organizing, and also run these sessions weekly, free sessions to help you learn the tips and the skills to do your own decluttering and organizing. Married with a husband and 2 teenagers. One's at school at the moment and the other is still in bed because his work is not on until later on today. Let me have a quick look at the chat as we're coming in. Thanks, Mary Lou, my amazing assistant. She says it's 7 o'clock there. Yes, we've got the 3-hour time difference at the moment. Melbourne just started daylight saving time. Hi, Nicole. She's joining us from Texas. Looking forward to learning about how to avoid doom boxes and how to get rid of mine. Perfect. I think everyone is in the right place. Let's move along. So the whole idea of reducing clutter and doom boxes in particular is that clutter causes stress and anxiety, and it reduces our productivity and focus because we can just become overwhelmed with stuff and we just lose our focus. Too many things to look at, overstimulating, and it's just, overwhelming. So that's why we really want to try and get a hold of these doom boxes and our overall clutter. And the clutter also affects our overall well-being. It decreases our focus, as I said, and our productivity, and both at home and at work. So even though you sort of might go out of the home to do your work, sometimes it feels like the weight of the clutter follows you out of the front door, and it can really lead to stress, which again follows you out the front door. And also the weight of it just plays on your mind. It's sort of something that's just in the back of your brain, taking up valuable space that could be for something else. So we really want to get on top of the clutter to be able to, clear up that valuable space in our brains for something else more important. And just a side note there that our clients that we work with here at Space and Time come from many different places. Their clutter impacts them on many different ways and in many different reasons that they might have clutter and feeling a little bit disorganized. But it's, very similar effects that the clutter has on our lives. So what is a doom box? Well, a doom box is where items are thrown together to hide clutter in a hurry. It might be a mix of random items with no immediate decision made. Again, there's no time, no inclination, no motivation to do so. So it's just chucked in a box. And a doom box is really a temporary fix that grows into long-term clutter. So that is just in a minute detail what a doom box is. I had a bit of a look before who started referring to doom boxes, and ChatGPT told me that the term doom box gained popularity in 2021 or thereabouts on platforms like TikTok. They are, as we mentioned, a doom box is a stash of random items instead of organizing them immediately, hence the name Doom, which stands for didn't organize, only moved. I didn't know that until today. So that's the acronym Doom. Didn't organize, only moved. And it is a word and a term used a lot in the ADHD community because it's just something that they can really relate to. It's a fast solution for managing clutter, especially for those with ADHD. So it doesn't have to be people with ADHD, but anybody that's in a hurry, hasn't got the time to deal with their clutter, doom boxes certainly can accumulate. So another sort of suggestion as to why doom boxes happen is the emotional connection to the items. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. A lack of time or feeling of overwhelm. Quick fixes for clutter before guests arrive. So there's nowhere to put the items as far as they don't have permanent homes, and we're absolutely going to address that today. So there's just too much happening in a short amount of time, so let's just stuff it in a box. So that's where doom boxes happen. Is that the experience of other people that are joining us today? Let us know how your doom boxes happen, or is this about right, what I've written here? So the emotional connection to our items can really slow us down sometimes, leading to these doom boxes. Makes it hard to make a decision, makes it hard to let things go. So it might be a sentimental item, might be a card, it might be something that someone gave you, it was a gift. And guilt over gift is huge when it comes to decluttering, no matter who the person is. If you're a very sentimental person and you love your memorabilia, your heirlooms, or even something that's cost you a lot of money, some of these things can be difficult to let go. We're going to talk about some techniques for that. So we might stash it instead of being able to deal with it. So we'll look at some of those items as well today. And as I said before, there can be quite an overwhelm caused by just too much. So we haven't got time to do it properly. So let's just, put it in a box and we're, sort of delaying that work that we need to do to get rid of these items. Let me have a look at the chat again. Hello, Holly. She's coming from Pittsburgh in the US. Well said. That is why I feel despair and reluctance to deal with my home clutter. Yeah. Oh, yes, the story of my organizing before gatherings. Yes. So we've got, we have to quickly hurry up before people come over for dinner, something like that. So we'll talk about some ways to work around that as well, because it even happens in my house. I have people coming over. I'm a professional organizer. My house is fairly neat and tidy, but I still run around and do a tidy up before people come. Don't you worry about that. But I do plan that time, and I'm certainly not doing it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I would put time in the diary to make those preparations. So let's talk about that when we get to it. So if you've been to some of our sessions before, you would know the space and time organizing system. As I said, my business is called Space and Time. We help people declutter and organize their space and their time. And these are 6 steps that I like to help my clients through, both organizing their space and their time. And I'm going to look at some of these steps today, not all of them, but I think a couple of them are really important today for our doom boxes. The first step, and I'll go into more detail in some of these shortly, the first step is to stop more stuff from coming in the front door in the first place. Is really helpful. It's hard to make any progress if there's more things coming in. Your commitment to being organized, we really want to say, yep, no more doom boxes, and let's start making some changes so they don't keep accumulating. Sort the stuff. So we're literally going to sort a doom box today. Things you no longer need is the 4th step, and that's the decluttering step. Easy storage for your stuff. We're definitely looking at storage or permanent homes for our items today. And we're going to have a look at maintenance tools. So as I said, we're going to skip through all of these steps today, the space and time organizing system, but some of them we're going to spend a little bit more time on because I think they are very relevant to our topic here today. I'm just having a look back at the chat, and Nicole says, I think my doom boxes are mostly unfinished projects or items I need to make decisions on that I feel indecisive about. Sometimes it's the reason you've already mentioned. Yeah, thank you for confirming that and for reminding us that idea of unfinished projects. So that's a really good one to think about as well. Thank you. Just close that. And Mike says, I find I have more stuff than I have shelf space, so it spills over and accumulates while I scoop things up and try to organize them into boxes that contain related items. That's quite interesting. That's the tiny distinction, Mike, from what we've been talking about as well, isn't it? Your boxes sound like they might be a little bit more organized than just stuffed into boxes. So good on you for making some plans and some attempt to organize your things. And Leslie says, my doom boxes tend to happen when last minute tidying up before visitors. Absolutely. As I said, that happens at my house too. So thank you for sharing all those things. I think we're on the right track. And there was something else I was going to say. Yes, Mike, we will have a look at decluttering some of your spaces as well as we're going along so that we've got room to put things away. Let's have a look at that. So let's move on to step 1. We're only going to look at this very quickly. Stop the stuff. It's really important to be mindful about what we're bringing into our home. So this first step of the space and time organizing system says, you know, when you're at the shops, when somebody's giving you something, when you're out at an event or an expo, be really mindful of what you say yes to and what you spend your money on, because we want to reduce the amount of stuff that we've got out in our homes. And the easiest way to do that is don't bring any more in. Certainly, don't bring any more stuff in that we don't need. Be really mindful about what we're bringing in. So as far as stopping more things and identifying where these things are accumulating, have a think about where these doom boxes sort of accumulate. Are they in your living rooms or in their bedrooms or in your kitchens? What's the biggest zone that these places start to accumulate, sorry, these boxes accumulate? Because that will help you be mindful. Okay, well, that's, you know, the kitchen seems to be a real hot spot. What is it in that area that's not working well? What system can we create to stop these doom boxes? And it might be decluttering, as I just said for Mike, in his shelves because he hasn't got the room, it's stuff's overflowing. Let's have a look at that in a second. And also the other point is, what sorts of things are gathering? Do you find that it's sports equipment and we need to create a place for the sports equipment to go? Or is it hair care products? Or is it makeup? Or is it just day-to-day objects that you're often using? What are these things that are in the doom boxes? So when we're talking about stopping more stuff from coming in the home, it's also doing a bit of an audit as to how the home is working and what things we can create and systems we can create. I'm going to quickly jump onto step 2 because we haven't got all day. Step 2 of the space and time organizing system is your commitment to being organized. So now we've done step 1, which is, okay, I'm not bringing any more things in, or I am going to be very diligent of what I'm bringing in. We've got more of a chance of actually dealing with our clutter. Imagine if nothing came in your front door for the whole year and you started to just chip away at the backlog, how much you could achieve rather than dealing with more things coming in. This one's going the extra mile, is making a commitment that, yes, I'm going to get on top of this. There are going to be no more doom boxes, or I'm just going to have 1 or 2 or 3, and give yourself some boundaries, because there is no magic wand, unfortunately. You know, being organized does take a bit of time, takes some commitment, focus, and persistence. And at the moment, let's not worry about you, your wife, your husband, or the kids. Let's get yourself sorted out today, and then hopefully by osmosis, the other people around you will absorb these great new habits that you are creating here. So step 2, your commitment to being organized, is knowing that you are the one that is in control of your stuff. I heard an interview a long time ago, 10 or more years ago. Arnold Schwarzenegger was here in Australia talking about the Arnold Fest, whatever it's called, forgotten the name of it. And the radio interviewer said to Arnold, you know, I have a real battle with chocolate. You know, what are your suggestions for this? And Arnold just says, don't eat it. You know, it's simple as that. If you make a commitment, chocolate's not in my life, you know, or doom boxes are not in my life, it's as easy as that. I know a lot of the time it isn't, but let's be really committed to this and make a good go of it. So a great way to be committed to being organized is to literally have time in your diary every day to tackle some of the backlog. 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes twice a day. I know some of my clients that have a lot of clutter really start with 10 minutes twice a day. I had another client that committed to getting rid of 1 bag of stuff from her house for the whole year. So that's 52 rubbish bags or big garbage bags of stuff. And she said that that was quite easy to do, and at times she'd let go of more things than that, but that was her commitment, 1 bag. You can commit to just a few minutes a day. And the other commitment I would like you to do is to start dealing with what's in your hand. So that means don't just dump it. Don't just put it on the kitchen bench. Don't just put it beside your bed. Put it in the area where it should live. Where is that permanent home? We'll talk about them more in a second. Don't dump, put it away. And really and literally put your commitment to your being organized in your diary. You know, it literally should be there. If it's not, it doesn't exist and it won't happen. Let me have a look at the chat before we move on to the next one. Sue says, I have a lot of homeless items. I like that have nowhere else to go, but which I need. Let's have a think about that, Sue. Where could they go, the homeless items? Sue says, my doom boxes mostly comprise of paperwork or craft supplies. I like it. Perhaps you might be like Mike and you sort of have categories at least in the boxes. That's a really good start, isn't it? Rather than just a jumble of things. Nicole says stashing habits, the garage usually and bedroom, yep, before visitors come. So yeah, let's put things in the garage. I actually helped a client clear a whole garage a couple of months ago. There was very few items that we ended up keeping. It had been stashed over the years because they couldn't get to the op shops or donation points at the time. And it was a whole single car garage of stuff that ended up in the rubbish because of this similar sort of thing, this stashing in the garage. And as Nicole says, the garage has become a big doom room and it feels overwhelming to know how to declutter it. I'd give 10 minutes a day a go. See if you can tackle it, and some of the other tips that we're going to talk about today. Thanks, Mike, for your continued contribution. Another thing I have a problem with is getting rid of after their useful life. Oh, okay. I don't want to throw things out to the landfill where there is possibly a way to recycle. Just accumulates and the recycling doesn't happen. Have a look at our website. Mary Lou, you might find the link for us for resources for donating items. A lot of our ideas won't be relevant to you because it's Australia and it's Melbourne, but it might give you some ideas on where to take stuff. But I think what you're probably saying is, well, you might know where to take it, but it just doesn't happen. You might be able to get somebody on board, a friend, family member, to be able to help you with that. But sometimes things need to go in the rubbish bin. I know we don't want to put things in landfill, but sometimes it's just what needs to happen. But thank you for letting us know about that. Leslie says, ha, 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 looking at my desk at the moment would be a typical doom bag in the making. Everything from receipts, unopened mail, measuring tapes, hardware items, scissors, a real dumping zone. I hear what you say. Maybe we can start to look forward, Leslie, rather than dumping stuff on your desk. We know that that is your commitment. We're going to have it clear from now on and find some places for these items to go, but we'll talk about them more. Thanks, Mary Lou. There's the link there in the chat for options for items you no longer want. As I said, these are donation points here in Australia, but it might give you some ideas on where to donate some of that stuff. Facebook is great. Facebook, my brain has broken. What's wrong with that? So buy nothing groups, and also the buy nothing groups are the main ones I was thinking of, to be able to just put it on there. I've got this lamp, it doesn't work, but it's still, you know, in pretty good condition. Would you like it? I think that's an awesome way locally to let things go. Thanks very much everyone for sharing. I really appreciate it. gives us some additional talking points. It makes us realize that, yeah, this is a thing. You are not the only one. And it'll help us tweak and tailor the next session that we put together as well. So we are up to step number 3. So this is sort the stuff. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas on general sorting of stuff that we use when we are decluttering, but then we're going to tweak it and look at actually sorting the stuff in a doom box. So the sorting step number 3 of the space and time organizing system is all about putting like items together so that we can get a clear view of what we have, because our brains can get really overwhelmed when there's just too much stuff. That picture on the right there is the contents of my utensils drawer. I haven't got the sorted one on here today, but you would never know in that jumble of stuff there's 7 vegetable peelers in that jumble. So when we start to sort it out, we can see what we've got. So it's a great way to start our decluttering, but it's not about deciding what to keep and what to let go yet. It's just trying to get some order and clarity so that our brains have a better chance of making some of those decisions that we need to make. So let's look at sorting a doom box. So the first step there says empty the doom box completely. So you can choose whether you do this step or not. What I would do is get a bit of a clear space, preferably on your dining room table, or if you've got a trestle table or something like that. The floor is a good place, or the bed. Floor is difficult. I was working on the floor with a client yesterday and we were up and down all day, and I'm quite a fit person. I run most days, but my legs are really sore today. So the floor is not the best. So what the idea is here, that we want to start to sort like items, get the things out of the doom box, do one box at a time and start to sort them. So I'd start to sort like items together, but also just try to start to put them into categories. Are you going to keep it? Are you going to donate it? Are you going to trash it? Or are you going to relocate it as far as does it go into another room? And ask yourself, making some quick decisions, do I need this or use it? Because the other thing is, a couple of people have said today they've got doom boxes in their garage that have probably been there for a long time. So bearing that in mind, if this doom box that you've got in your hand, or sitting right beside you, wherever it might go, somebody mentioned before they were looking at a doom box as we're speaking, chances are the things that are in that box you may not need, because you've probably had it in that box for a while. So really start to make some quick, tough decisions about letting things go. Now, we do need things. We do need vegetable peelers. We do need clothes. We do need, there's a lot of things that we do need. But be really mindful. Remember, this business space and time is about deciding what to keep, what to let go, and how do we want to live our life. And it's certainly, I bet when you were growing up, you didn't want to live surrounded by doom boxes. So keep that in mind. So that was step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4, assign a home for the items. We'll go that deep into that in a second when we're looking at easy storage. So keep that in mind. But when we're getting down to the actual sorting, get yourself some boxes. I love this item, this image here. I think Mary Lou might have created it for me with ChatGPT. Love a little ChatGPT glitch when relocate isn't quite spelt correctly, but we know what it means. Get yourself some boxes or some labels. Again, I know I am telling you how to suck eggs, but this is the process. As I said before, in your commitment to being organized, there is no magic wand. This is the process. So let's look at each item in your doom box. So have you got a rewards card in there? Oh, you can't even see it. There it is. That's a rewards card there. It's actually from a local alcohol outlet. I don't drink, but I do use it for a little ruler. So if that was in my doom box, I go, yes, I'm going to keep it. So you could just put it straight in your keep box or your relocate box, or I know where this lives, so I'm putting it straight back on my desk in the little tray that it lives on right in front of me, because as I said, I use that as a little ruler. And then you might grab, I've just got a stash of money here beside me. Yes, we might keep this money. I don't use cash, but I wouldn't be throwing that away. We would keep that. Where do we keep the money? You know, we could put it in our keep box or our relocate box, or I've got a little stash of money right here beside me, so I'm going to put that away. I'm just tidying up my desk as we go. Now I've got some nail polish here. So it's an awful color. It's gone all swirly. It's a bit dark, and I don't think it's ever going to come back to life. I think this is actually going to go. It could go in I think you could probably recycle this through our local recycle center. But with something like this, I think if I gave it a good shake, it might be okay, but I don't want it anymore. I probably would gather the other old nail polishes that I don't want and pop them on the Facebook Buy Nothing groups and say, I've got purple nail polish, white nail polish, and green nail polish. Would anybody like it? And you never know what people need nail polish for. So that is what you would do. Continue on with your doom box. Remember, what I would do as well is to put your timer on, put 10 minutes on, and we're going to make quick decisions and sorting the items here. We want to leave some time for packing up as well, making sure that you're not just leaving the kitchen table in a big mess. And we want to create these permanent homes for our things so that next time, as I said, we're not going to dump it on the kitchen table or on my desk. We are going to put it straight back to the place where it lives. So we would keep going through your doom box, keep, donate, trash, relocate to sort your box. We will, what else have I got about sorting? I haven't got any more about sorting, but this sorting step is really important. I forgot to mention when my profile picture was up before that I am writing a book about decluttering using these 6 steps at the moment. And as I'm writing it, I'm really talking about how this sorting step is overrated. No, underrated. How this sorting step is underrated. You need to do it because once you've got it sorted, that's not the end of it, because I think a couple of you said as well, you've got some of these like items together. Then there is another step. So what we would do is probably stop your timer, go and have a cup of tea, celebrate the great work that you've done, and then we would create that permanent home. But my point being, this sorting step is really, really helpful. Let me have a look at the chat, and then we're going to go through to the next step. Holly has tagged Mike to say, I used to do the same until I read that Goodwill will dump the trash, broken or stained items. I've used Google and look where that you can look up the set recycle or dump textiles, and several options are available. So yeah, Holly was saying that she too finds it difficult to be able to let things go when they've come to the end of their life. But see if those lists would be helpful for you that we put on the link before. Holly says, my sister would sell her unused nail polish for $1 at our church semi-annual flea market. They all sold. How awesome. Great idea. Do a garage sale, do a church, you know, flea market. Good on you, Holly. Thanks for that suggestion. I love that idea. No, that's Mary Lou says, sorry for the wrong spelling. That's no problem. I love to have a giggle when we see some of these things come up. And Mary Lou, it's not always your fault. It's often my fault. I've quickly typed something on these slides, and it's all good. Let's keep on moving. So we have gone through the first three steps of the space and time organizing system. So we stopped more stuff from coming in. So hard to get a grip on stuff in your house if there's still more coming in. Your commitment to being organized is the time to put it in the diary and make it happen, and make a commitment that there's no more doom boxes. And this last step that we've just talked about, sort the stuff. We just started to sort what's in the doom box, and really, again, being mindful, what's in there, what's accumulating, why did it get put here? And as Mike said before, it's often because we just haven't got the right place to put it. There's no room for it. The shelf is overflowing. So we will look at that here in this next step of things you no longer need. And then the next step, easy storage. So let's keep moving. So fourth step, things you no longer need. So the decluttering step, it's all about letting go letting go, if I could read rather than just make it up, letting go is about making space for what's important. So let go of items that we're no longer using to make room on the shelf for the items that we are using. So this step helps you clear physical and mental clutter. And as I just reminded us, the previous 3 steps have helped us to get to this point as well. Like, we didn't just open this box and start throwing things out. We started to prepare by getting our mindset right and making that commitment to being organized. So what we want to do is start to decide now of, in that doom box of the things that you have sorted, what do you want to keep and what can you let go? And really start with the easy choices. We can start with the duplicates or the broken items. As I said before, I had and still have 7 vegetable peelers. It may be even more now. But if I was downsizing, all those vegetable peelers wouldn't fit in my drawer. The duplicates, that could be an easy place to start the decluttering. So if we're looking at using this step to help us clear spaces in our home so that we have more room to put things away rather than dump them in a doom box, that's what this decluttering step is all about. So we could be using these tips here in this step to go through the garage to clear space, or go through the shelves or the cupboards so that we do have room to put away the items that we want to keep, and so that there's less likelihood of these doom boxes accumulating because we've got places to put things. So this quickly, this, as I said, this step 4, the decluttering step, I'm just done it very briefly today because I want to spend some more time on this next step, is really being mindful about what is adding to your life right now. We're not caught in the past. We're not looking at the future going, oh, I might use it one day. We're looking at the type of life that you want to live right now. What's going to help you be the best, like me, be the best professional organizer. Have a look around your home and see if the items are helping you do that. If you want to get better with your fitness, have a look around at your home and set up some zones around your home and see which things are helping you towards getting fitter and healthier, and that could help you let things go. Maybe you could clear out the pantry and let go of the chocolate, donate it to somebody. So the things you no longer need, the decluttering, we're letting things go that aren't serving you right now and adding to your life right now. Right, let's have a look at, what is that going backwards? Looking at step 5. Now, this one is a really important one when it's in relation to doom boxes. We've mentioned it a few times, that there's just nowhere to put anything, or these items that are accumulating, they haven't got a permanent home, or there's nowhere to put them, or they're homeless. Someone said homeless. I like that idea. They're homeless items. So let's give them a home. Let's give them a permanent home by creating easy storage. So if it's easy storage, it means it's easy to find where it is on the shelf or in the cupboard, and it's easy to put back there as well. So we're not having to move 5 tubs to get to the 6th tub on the bottom of the pile, just to get your scissors out every time you want to use it. We want to make it nice and easy to be able to store things in places all over the home. Again, it's easy storage, and it's deliberately the 5th step in the system. So we deliberately stopped more stuff from coming in. We got committed, we sorted, we decluttered, and now we are creating the storage because we've let go of the stuff we no longer want, and we're setting up the permanent things for this, hopefully a smaller collection of stuff, and keeping those storage spaces for the things that, instead of being put in the doom box or left on the table to quickly put into the doom box, we can just go, oh, look, I'm going to put the sugar straight back on the shelf right there. And there was a number of items that people have told us that accumulate in their doom boxes. I don't think it's anything in particular. I think it's different for every person and every different situation. But again, let's set up some easy storage for where these things live, and making it easy for you, your family, and any outside help as well. If you've got a cleaner that comes in, or your mum comes to help you around the house, or something like that, let's make it easier for everybody. Now, the other thing is, when we're looking at using baskets or tubs or little drawers and things like that, we need to remember that a tool like these little items, it's something that help you make a task and do a task easier. But the tools are not magic. So that basket there that says cooking, at the end of the day, it doesn't go shh and suck everything back into it. You still need to be committed to being organized and need to put the cooking things, whatever they've decided goes in that basket, you need to put them back in after you've used them. So these containers, boxes, baskets, they help you organize, but you still need to put them in. This system that we're creating, you still need to be the driver of it. As I said, these tools are not magic. We need to be able to use them and continue to being committed to doing that. So right now, we're not focusing on making it look pretty. This pantry here on the right is stunning, but who has the time to decant everything into these nice jars and things? I'll show you a picture of my laundry shortly, which is ugly, may I say, but it works very well. But what we're trying to do here is to make it work well and efficiently for you. And once it's all organized, if you really want to make it look nice, then you can knock yourself out and make it look good. But at the moment, we're making it nice and easy for everybody. Just very briefly, because we've only got 17 minutes, here are a couple of things you could use around the home to help you with easy storage. Just creating these permanent homes so that we've got places to put things away straight away and not just dumped on a surface and end up in a doom box. You can have little containers like this one on the left. You might put food things in it, or it might be hair ties, it might be makeup with these little dividers. Or on the right, there's a bigger sort of tub that you could use down the bottom in a deep cupboard to help you easy access to the cupboard. Or it might be a few small Perspex boxes that keep like items together. This is my drawer here at home. It's got the ice cream maker machine bits down the bottom and the Fruit Ninja things in another tub up the top there. This is my pantry at home, just easily labeled Tupperware. Then I buy the right size packets to just slip in there, the flour and self-raising flour. I don't even worry about tipping it in. I just put the whole packet in, and then there's no little bits and pieces left over. So this is easy storage for our stuff. I'm just going to flick through this. This is probably, you know, another session completely. Organizing photos. You can spend as much time as you want organizing your photos. It can be a big can of worms, but you can make a beautiful coffee table book like this, or you could just neatly sort them in a box. So easy storage. What's going to work for you? What is organized and what is done? What is good enough for you? I promised you I would show you a picture of our laundry. We've been in this home for 22 years. 20, yes. And these boxes are pretty well been in these exact same spots for all of that time. It works. They're just the right size. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just needs to work for you. As I said, if you want to make it beautiful down the track, knock yourself out and do it, but let's just get it done for now. Done is better than perfect. All right, so we've been talking about building long-term habits so these doom boxes don't accumulate anymore. And as we said with our commitment to being organized, consistency is the key. We want to set up daily decluttering habits, which is particularly don't dump, but also having the 10 or 15 minutes a couple of times a day to start tackling a couple of these boxes. But again, remembering, leave yourself a bit of time for packing up at the end so that you're not in a bigger mess than you started with. Treat yourself, reward yourself after you've done it with a cup of tea. And it doesn't even matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just stand there and go, yes, I've done a box. I mean, how good? And you should really be proud to get it done. And have a go at getting somebody to work with you, whether it's a professional such as myself. If you're in Melbourne, I can come work with you hands-on in person, or we can do accountability sessions on Zoom. You could literally sit there. We can sit together on Zoom and let's just go through the boxes and start working them. But get somebody to help you and keep you on track, set that timer and start building these new habits and new ways of doing things. So also moving on from those, setting up those daily habits, we want to look at step 6. The 6th and final step of the space and time organizing system is maintenance. So we have done all these incredible things that we've been talking about. We've been really focusing on being committed. We're focused on not letting these doom boxes accumulate again. We've set up some more permanent homes, and we even have decluttered some spaces to make room for the things that we are using. So how do we keep it up? How do we do this each and every day to make sure it doesn't build up again? So this is the last step. So I'm going to be starting to wrap up shortly, and we've got 12 minutes, which is perfect. But let me know in the chat, have I missed something? What did I miss? And what have I missed? And what's the highlight? What did I say today? You've gone, yes, that's the bit I've been missing. Let me know, share it in the chat. So in this maintenance step, we want to keep things organized by, being organized and doing what organized people do each and every day. It's not just a one-time thing. It's not just spring cleaning. This is decluttering and organizing each and every day of your life. Decluttering is the start. The real change is to maintain the order. So we want to embrace these daily decluttering habits and to maintain your organized spaces. So it might be perhaps things accumulate in your bathroom. So you might spend, over the next week, you might spend a couple of 10-minute sessions of starting to declutter, let things go, and then create new permanent homes in your bathroom so that things can go in the drawers, can go in the cupboards, or you might have a nice tray that sits on your vanity unit to put your special items. And then each day be committed to putting them back where they should be rather than actually letting things dump. And that would help you, making sure that it's not going to accumulate again. So we're doing these daily decluttering habits. And as it says there, sort through a doom box every day, or half a doom box, or 3 items from a doom box. If we've got less stuff coming into the house and you are more committed to being organized, you will get on top of these doom boxes. Don't defeat yourself before you even start. You will get there. You will get this done. Don't forget to share with me what have been your top tips for today. And as I said, if I've missed anything that you do at home, let me know in the chat as well, so everybody else can learn from them. So continuing on this final step of maintenance, use your calendar. Literally schedule it in there. If it's a paper calendar, if it's your Google calendar, set a recurring appointment. It's like date night. You know, it's something important, something that's going to improve your life. It's something that should be exciting and something to look forward to, and it's going to change your life. So get that time in there. And as I said, establish a weekly planner and routines to keep things in order. And you can also get the family involved by setting house rules and promoting something that I can't see on the bottom because my little menu won't go away. I can't read whatever that said on the bottom of that page there. But get other people involved in the family. Sorry, Mary Lou, I missed that.
Teamwork, Jilly, promoting
Teamwork.
teamwork.
Excellent, Thank you. Get the family happening. Talking about maintenance, my family each night, we do all sit down for dinner together most nights. It's still something we do at 6:30 each evening. Once dinner is cooked, we make sure the dining room table is clear, the dishwasher is stacked, the dishes are hand washed and somebody dries and put them away, and the kitchen bench is wiped and tidy. While that's happening, so my 2 sons and I do that, and my husband folds the washing that's on the clothes area that's dried from during that day. So that's something we do as a family each day to help keep the house organized. And at that same time, we'll get the boys to get any dishes or rubbish or recycling out of their bedrooms or from beside their computers, and they bring that out. So this daily maintenance, that saves me a lot of time. I'm not going to do all of those things. I think once upon a time when the kids were smaller, I used to do all of that, but now we do it together, that teamwork, get the whole family on board. As I said, seek accountability and community support. Just one second, I just need to send a message. Get some accountability, get professional help, and just keep going. Continually adjust and adapt your organizing system so that it works for you, and don't just keep changing it either. I think you need to learn to apply a full stop at some stage, that the process is good enough. Yes, where I've put those water bottles are good enough. The water bottles could go in this cupboard, this drawer, or over here, but this will do for now. I don't need to keep moving it around. That is good enough. Learn to apply a full stop. So let's just recap. What we did at the start, we identified where the areas of these doom boxes are accumulating and also what are in the doom boxes. I think that will really help you to be able to stop them from accumulating and stop these sorts of things from just sort of appearing. We understood the emotional connections and the lack of time that can lead to these doom boxes. So sometimes we do need a bit of time to process the emotional items, or we do need time, literally block it in the calendar, to research where you can recycle stuff. If that is important to you, it's important enough to spend the time on. So put it in the diary, or make time for a friend to come over and do some of these things with you, because it can be overwhelming, it can be emotional. So get a body double, get somebody to come and help you with some of these things, and check out these spaces by recognizing that you do need some help. So we also went through and we sorted the items in our doom boxes, and we went through and we decided what to keep, donated, trash, or relocate. Continue to use that system as you're sorting. And we organized as well. We created those permanent homes for everything. So we don't want any more homeless things. We want them all to have a home now, a permanent home. And if somebody else has taken up their home, tell them to move on. We don't want anyone homeless anymore. We want to let go of the stuff we're not using and create a permanent home for those items. And we also creating organized spaces eliminates the need for quick stashing in the future. As I said, I still do a quick tidy up before people come over to my house, but it's certainly, I don't spend the whole day on it. It would be like 20 minutes or something like that. And that's to make it look pretty good. And there's no stashing and dashing. Things get put away in their permanent home. So if you can spend some time to tackle these doom boxes, create these permanent homes for things, I think your next party will be good fun, because you'll put some time in the diary as well to prepare for that party. You know, okay, that's right, I do need to get ready for this party, and tidying up is a part of that. Let's make, you know, the week before, on the Thursday afternoon, we're going to spend some time on that. And then we had a look at the maintenance step. We built up our long-term habits by incorporating regular decluttering routine, keep yourself accountable, and rewarding your progress. So if you would like some continued help, if you're here in Melbourne, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to come and help you with a 4-hour kickstart session to help you clear some of these doom boxes. And there's the details on the screen there. And also, if you are not in Melbourne, we can do this, as I said, online via Zoom. We can create a clear vision of what you would like to achieve, and then we can keep you on track. We can have some accountability, and we can do all of that via Zoom. Okay. And the next session we've got coming up is in 2 weeks' time at the same time, 24th of October. Clear your space, double your time, and take control of your life. That one's slightly different. It doesn't follow the 6 steps so much, but we will touch on each of them during the session. But it's really looking at decluttering and organizing both your space and your time. So it'll be a jam-packed session. Looking forward to seeing you on there. I will come back to the chat in 1 sec. If you would like a chat with me just to clarify anything that we've talked about today, I'd love to offer you a 15-minute free Zoom session. Send me an email, julie@spaceandtime.com.au. Mary Lou will put that in the chat now. And we'd love a chat to help you make a plan for any of these things that we did today. Let me go to the chat as we're finishing off. Ooh, here we go. Absolutely, Jade. Done is better than perfect. That's her tip of the day, I think. I love it. Holly says the biggest tip for me is the calendar and commit to the doom box declutter. I want my dining room table cleared, my living room decluttered, so I can use it to exercise. Yes, great plan. I love it. Get it in the diary. I love it. Good luck with that, Holly. Mike says using a timer will help. Absolutely. 10 minutes, you can get so much done. Mike says he gets distracted, but the timer will keep you focused. Absolutely. Highly recommend it. I do it myself often if I've got to sit down and do a lot of work. And you just find you get refreshed too after those small breaks. You know, do 10 minutes, go off, have a cup of tea, put your timer on for 5 minutes, have that break, come back if you've got time to continue. Nicole says, I like the concept of good enough organizing. We can always make it prettier, but the first step is making it work for us. Thank you, Nicole. It is awesome. I think 10 minutes once or twice a day with accountability is a great tip too. Thank you. Mary Lou, thank you for putting the link there for the 4-hour kickstart package. Working with a buddy sounds good, says Mike. You are right. I find it easier to help with someone else declutter rather than doing it on my own. Having a buddy would be good. See if you can find someone local, Mike, to help you with that. Just be mindful who you choose. Some people are really good at this help, and other people are just say, just get rid of it. And it's not really very helpful. See if you can find someone local. Otherwise, I'd love to help you via Zoom with that. And Mary Lou, thank you for sending out the virtual declutter coaching link and the link to clear your space, double your time, take control of your life, and the clarity call and our email. And it's perfectly 11 o'clock. That is amazing. Thank you all so much for coming along and added inspiration there on Facebook. Reach out to me if you'd like any additional help and any feedback. As you know, we recorded the session today and we will send it out, the recording, so have another look at it. And if there's anything else you want clarified, send us an email. But been awesome to see you. Hope to see you back in 2 weeks' time for the next session. You are welcome, everyone. Thanks for your great participation and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye for now.